Okay, utter craziness. Adrienne is attempting to balance Cameron's arch on her head. She was trying to find a place for it, and on her head is where she decided, but now you can't see it.
Yeah.
By the way, your shirt is hilarious. I almost wore the same shirt. I came this close and then I went, we're just not serious people. I can't do it. I can't do it. And then you did.
I've been enlightened. Thank you, Farcaster Brunch.
1D equals 1B. And for those who are only listening, I highly recommend you go take a look at the visual for the dick butt shirt that she is currently wearing. And on that note, we'll be back in 55 seconds after this intro. Welcome to GM Farcaster, bringing you everything from breaking news to spicy memes to the deep lore shaping this vibrant digital community. More than just a show, GM Farcaster is your digital third space where the community connects, the stories unfold, and the culture thrives. Whether you're a daily caster or just dropping by, we've got the latest buzz to keep you plugged in. So grab your coffee and let's dive in with your hosts, Nanish Prof and Adrienne, for another episode of GM Farcaster. And thank you to our premier partner, Octant. Be sure to check out all the latest at octant.app and mint your Dgens and Dragons cards at highlight.xyz. GM Farcaster. It is Wednesday, May 7th, and you're here with Nanish Prof and Adrienne for 29 minutes of Farcaster news to start your day. Plus, we will have poof-eth joining us to chat about DX Terminal. This will all make a little more sense later. I do have a different background that I can't wait to show you that has my Prof Flamingo that was created by Gremplin, and this is why I'm sporting my Cryptodes hat. I'm very excited. I love that, Chompix. That makes me so happy. Best place to find all the curated info. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And Adrienne, I assume oh, DJ veteran.
Time
come on.
is relative. Time is
It's
a
all
circle.
relative.
Time is
We
a circle.
are going to stick to about 29 minutes, maybe a little less of news because we do have an interview today. So we will do that on days we have interviews. But I'm assuming that your shirt was inspired by this cast by Linda,
Yes,
which was absolutely hilarious. This is from Linda. The amount of times I've had to say dick butt out loud in a meeting is pretty wild. And it was hilarious to me. We are not serious people, but actually we also are serious people. Some people are serious. The ones at the Ethereum devs, they take this stuff seriously and we appreciate them. Pectra just went live today, finalized. Testing of the newly activated EIPs continues. Very exciting. And in this thread, you will see Pectra made now announcement that has all the details. Seen a few other casts today. Biggest Ethereum upgrade since the merge. This is Pectra, and this time you'll feel it. It's called Pectra, and here's why it matters. And there is a guest thread from Benji, so you can take a look at all the details as to what's in there. Kind of a summary. The merge was for the protocol. Pectra is for the people. For years, upgrades made Ethereum work better. Pectra makes Ethereum feel better. It is Ethereum's glow up. So what's new in Pectra a lot, this is where Ethereum starts to feel like a modern network. Fewer clicks, smarter wallets, cheaper transactions, cleaner staking. And then there's more details on that so you can dive in. And I really liked your cast here about why Pectra, because sometimes I just don't question things at all. And it never crossed my mind to ask. So, Adrienne, why Pectra?
This is straight out of the FAQ on the Ethereum Foundation post. So these are not my words, but it's on the FAQ. It was the very last one. I was like, oh, that's interesting. So the naming convention is based on DevCon city names and stars in the universe. So why Pectra upgrades to the execution layer follow DevCon city names, and those to the consensus layer use star names. Pectra is the combination of Prague, the location of DevCon 4, and Electra, a blue-white giant star in the constellation of Taurus. So I guess that means this upgrade was both the execution layer and consensus layer.
Yeah,
if it's a
I think it is both.
name.
It is both. Yes. So that's kind of fun. I did not know that, and I thought that was pretty cool. So fun things you learned, today I learned. There you go. This was from Chaskin at the Ethereum Foundation. Another boring Ethereum upgrade. We argue online. Ethereum just keeps working. Nearly 10 years of this. And I do love that. How there's like, when I think that we don't fully appreciate how smoothly these upgrades have gone, where there's been, no major issues after them. We've seen this over and over again. So that just tells you how cracked the devs are who are behind these upgrades, and they really just do an incredible job. There's a lot of testing that goes on. They do multiple sort of, trial runs before they do these things and on the test nets. And I really appreciate the work that goes into that. So shout out to all the devs out there doing the work.
Did you see my recast? Did you see my quote cast?
No, I didn't. I missed that one.
Oh,
I'm sorry. What did you say?
Well, I just said, I said humans love drama. We're hardwired. Humans are hardwired for drama. There's no drama in Ethereum upgrades. Thus follows, this is your SAT logic reasoning test. Thus follow, humans hate Ethereum. And that's maybe one of our problems is like, everybody loves a hero. When something goes wrong, you trauma bond and someone steps in and feels better, but that never happens with Ethereum. It's just really boring. So
yeah, that's an interesting theory. I like that. Meanwhile, this was funny. Why are people mad at CT today on crypto Twitter today? And honestly, like, we're not even going to discuss the why, but this is an evergreen cast that literally you could probably post every day.
Seriously.
That's just funny. What Phil said, and I'm like yes. Evergreen cast.
Had you even mad talking about the specific reasons of yesterday, or is it like, just
like people? Well, we can read what Siege said. The Beer Baddies posted a really cute and fun MTV style cribs tour with a lot of satire and a disclaimer in the beginning saying this is satire from Dubai, and men and some women lost their minds about it. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. It's cute. I mean, go look at it. It's really, it's nothing. It's like, it's funny. Like it was clearly tongue in cheek. Whatever. Let people have fun and worry about yourselves.
I tried watching it. I couldn't even watch the whole thing. I just thought it was boring.
It was cringy and it was fun and it was whatever. And it's not anything worth getting mad about is my point. Like, whatever. Like, if you didn't like it, you can actually, like you did, just stop watching.
Move on.
Move on with your life.
If you like it, great. It's for you.
Like it, great. It's for you. That's all. Not everything's for us. Some of us prefer drama-free upgrades and some of us prefer fighting on Twitter. Meanwhile, lots of us prefer this. Rewards leaderboard results. Fitting salute and thanks that Estes.eth takes #1 for FarCon week. I really loved seeing her at the top of this leaderboard. Bravo. So well deserved. She worked her butt off. And then, funny enough, Jeff Goldberg killing it with data and influence takes #3, and Marina #4, highest spot for all her work in Ukraine, and FarCon vibing this week. Nice to see the outpouring of support for remaining Clanker team take Dish to #8. Have to note the FarCon Vibe Tribe in that second 10, Erica, Kate Cavill, Lamb Chop, 12, 13, 14. Nice to see Nounish Prof and Adrienne in the top 30 with all they put into FarCon as well. Thank you so much. Any side wager on who beat who? I don't know if anyone was wagering. Obviously, the answer was easy to find. Not a safe. And also, by the way, if this is ever a bet, always bet on Adrienne. You'll be, I know you guys think I'm chattier. I'm not. She is.
The joke was, as much as I do not care about the leaderboard, and by the way, we're all winners. Let's remind everybody, we're here in Farcaster having a blast. We win. Did you laugh today? Did you smile? You won. Okay.
Great
that
point.
being said, I was really trying to get in the top 20 this week because why not? And I was like at 21, then 22, 23. And I actually went for it until I realized that the next bump was actually at 30, not 20. So it didn't matter.
Yeah, didn't matter.
I had some.
You just needed in top 30. You can't, if you can't get to 10, it's fine. You know what I mean? Like, and I had a moment where I was at 16 and I'm like, ooh, 6 spots. Can I do it? And then I look at who's in front of me. I'm like, no, I can't. And it's fine. No, it's just not going to happen. Just try and stay in the top 30 now that I'm here. You know, it's just like, whatever. Was the highlight plot twist. Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Hashtag we are all winners.
We're all winners. But I do love, hey, Fungible. Big shout out to Fungible at number 69, my favorite spot. That's the one I usually try to hit, just because if you're in that next tier, like it's very hard to get yourself into 30. So it's like sometimes it's fun to just try to shoot for a specific number just to gamify it. We like games. Or maybe it's just me. By the way, so Dan dropped this also. Again, not your worth, but this was fun. Most tipped people of all time. And if you look at it on mobile, you couldn't see Garrett, and Garrett actually made a comment, legends. I was like, you realize you're at the top, right, dude? I don't think he
Or
did,
you know what? Self-love. The dude knows he deserves the tips.
Absolutely. No, but it was funny because I'm like, I don't think Garrett realized he was on the list until when he posted that. By the way, I didn't realize I was on this list, and I'm further down. But I was like, wow, I'm very surprised. So thank you to anyone who has tipped me. I really appreciate that. I had no idea. So that was really fun and cool to see. And Keckers, of course, and Ted and TLDR, the dude, Afrochicks, Jesse Pollock, Linda Six, Burt Worst, JC4P, and JC4P, well deserved. Horsefax, Erica, me, Estes, and Android 16. That was really just cool to see.
You know what everybody here has in common?
Amazing. What's up?
My vibe is like no one's trying to game the leaderboard. No one's asking for, or I guess it's not a leaderboard. These are tips.
It's tips.
Like, people aren't asking for tips. There's no tip for tip. It's just people casting interesting things and being good citizens. I was surprised.
I was really surprised. I had no idea I was on this list because until you click into it, you don't even see half of it. So I was like, whoa, what am I doing on there?
But also now everybody can stop tipping these people. They have enough.
No.
Just kidding.
Oh, by the way,
tip who you want to tip.
The other thing that happens is all of these people, I don't know what the people who tip the most is, but I'm going to guess there might be some overlap here because I tip out a lot. Like most of the time I'm tipping out what I get tipped, things like that. So then I know a lot of these folks do as well. So fun. This from Octant. Happy Pectra Day from Octant's side. No protocol specific changes were needed. But of course, we upgraded our nodes. We haven't seen any drops in the effectiveness of our validators with this upgrade. Initially, network participation dropped to 88% for a couple of hours, and it's climbed up to 97% since then. This time, it was not related to any bugs or in any particular client, but rather people forgetting to upgrade their nodes. Pectra is smooth sailing thanks to the great work of core devs Ethereum. So and Octant run their own, so they stake 100,000 ETH, I believe it is, and they do it with solo staking. So they're doing the work, so they're upgrading their nodes, and very cool to see. So thanks, Octant. This from Emma. Time and attention are your scarcest resources, especially when IRL and hundreds of you chose to spend them in one city together over the last 4+ days. Feeling really grateful for the time we spent together, bullish on the builders in this eco, and excited for what we break next. I was afforded the privilege to be tired from a challenge of my own choosing with the most supportive team and partners of all time. Sometimes it just doesn't get better than that. Thank you. And I love seeing this. And again, Estes, Emma, we thank you for all your work. She went on to say things I'm looking forward to. GM Farcaster releasing the talks when they get back from production team. FarCon merch becoming available on Slice for those who missed it. So that's good news. Paying out winners from FarHack and the FarCon Open, and sleeping, but also on Sun's Gathering. This is one of the shirts. If you can see it, it says everything is computer. Hopefully this will be available for you to purchase as well. By the way, runs large. It runs very large, so you can size down one, because I should have sized down one. It was much bigger than I anticipated, but very exciting post. And then this from Emma also: if I had $1 for every time someone asked me where the recording of Fred Wilson and DWR FarCon talk was, I could buy Merkel. And I quote-casted this and said, same girl, same. Because it's coming. We promise. We're waiting on the professionals to give us all the content, and then we were going to get it out to you. And this is by far the most anticipated. Also, the photos are incredible that came from our professional photographers, which you can see a couple here, and very excited to get these out to everyone, because I know that I want to relive it. Like, I want to go back and watch it again. So I'm sure everyone else who wasn't there is excited to see it as well. So that will be the first one we drop, we promise. Just to get you all off our backs more than anything. So I'm starting to see some people drop some highlights. This is On-Chain Creator House. This is from Humpty. On-Chain Creator House was a movie. Hosting the first On-Chain Creator Hackathon was no small feat, and was only possible because of the generous support from our partners. And of course, all the creators who showed up strong to create alongside the best on-chain media platforms. Can't wait to run this back soon. Stay tuned. And you'll see a little sneak peek of me in there, because while Adrienne was just chilling, hacking away, creating Coinroid, I was doing all the things, including this. But it was really fun. A few other things like that. This was Samantha's recap of the FarCandles event, and even behind the scenes. Thanks so much for everyone for coming. So that was really fun as well. I love seeing all these recaps coming through. And then you did a written recap on Paragraph. Just returned from FarCon NYC. It was an epic blend of creativity and connection, insightful discussions, highlights included launching the Coinroid app, and deep reflections on keeping the spirit of community alive amid growth challenges. Excited for what's next. And this is from Adrienne, so go check that out. Also love seeing it in the Paragraph picks this week. So really fun. Along with Naomi. We see you in there. I'm in the mix. Thanks, Naomi. This was from Amelie, and we don't really have time to get into it, but this is another fun recap from the Forever Library. This was such a fun event. Who knew that crypto folks love books? So surprise. They like books, they like reading. So that was really fun to see. So another really fun recap video as well. We really need to do one from karaoke. I'll have to throw one together. We're not good at this sort of thing, by the way.
This is our ACS Media on Farcaster. Looks like they did that video.
Ooh.
Might be sliding in your DMs to learn more about.
Hey there, AC.
Like,
ACS
can you come to our events?
Hey, ACS Media, we might need some help from you. Amazing. And then I do see Poof down there. Hey Poof, we're just finishing up a couple more quick things, and then we're switching over to you to talk about DX Terminal. New meme alert. New meme. This is from Emma. Started it off. For those unfamiliar with TLDR's game, for those not looking at the visual, it's our friend Tim Riley with a phone plugged into his computer. I assume because he was running out of battery. I don't know what is happening there, but that's my guess. And it got memeified. Parental advisory, explicit content. It does kind of look like it should be an album cover. So that was from Christopher. Then TLDR, this was funny. Tim has been added and is ready for use, like making him as if he was a, I think this is in the Ponder Discord or something. So Tim is now a sticker. This was from 0x Designer. 6-way parlay. I want Nick steal game 2 in OT. Tatum drops 40 in the L. Josic 15 assists, triple dub. Curry hits 8 threes. Ant scores 35. Thunder win by exactly 3. Read it back to me. Totally could happen. Quite possible. And then this, which is your background right now, Manhattan crypto versus Brooklyn crypto. Accurate.
Also, because the Manhattan crypto versus Brooklyn crypto meme popped up over the last few days, which also the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I hate it so much. But then as soon as Dan put it in this meme, I was like, perfection.
Perfection. Love it. Love it so much.
Are you Brooklyn? By the way, are you Brooklyn or Manhattan crypto?
What do I look like? I mean, I was wearing ripped jeans and this hat for half the time I was there. I mean, what do you think? I was so happy.
Can I be Manhattan?
You can be Manhattan. You're very Manhattan. You're very Manhattan. I'm definitely Brooklyn. Yeah, that one's pretty easy. Couple more quick things. This is from Taya. Big shout out to Base for adding an additional 3 ETH. We are officially up to 12 ETH. More updates through the week. This is for the Farcaster Network Goods funding round coming soon, which is in conjunction with Octant as well as Purple. So very exciting. This will be kicking off very soon. So look for that. I just have to shout this out. Jan Furla has joined Rainbow. I mean, how perfect is that? This is from Mike Rainbow. We got the trippy rainbow guy, so we can make Rainbow even more rainbow. I mean, perfection, absolute perfection. So congrats to both. This was just funny. I met Thumb. This is from Adrienne. I met Thumb at FarCon, and he told me I'm Farcaster's mom. If this is my rap, I'm totally cool with it, as long as you see me as a compassionate mom who gives tough love when needed. Anyway, y'all get a good night's sleep, work hard, and be kind. Kind of love that. And then Thumb dropped a world's best mom trophy for you.
Yes.
Why am I not following Thumb? Okay, there we go. I'm pretty sure I was at some point. And then also reminder from Greg, reminder that Mother's Day is this weekend. You should get your mom a gift because moms are good. Yeah, your own mom. You don't have to get the Farcaster mom's gift. It's fine.
I just realized I need to create a frame to raise money for all the Farcaster moms. That would do well this week.
Okay. That would do well. Okay, couple other quick things, and then we're going to shift gears. I'm just looking through the things I really need to talk about. I'm going to just touch on this really quick. We've been talking about anons. We kind of covered this on Monday, but there's been a lot of discussion continuing on because we do have some lovely anons in our ecosystem, but many of whom we've met in person, but they still remain anon online. And Phil was talking about anon versus pseudonym. And there was this post from Gigamesh saying, assume all anon founders are sus. I don't think that's true at all. Not even a little bit. So I think you have to be careful. But we kind of went into this the other day. And then this from Apex 777, agree on not over rotating here. I am anon on the TL. Yes. Am I anon to other founders, the base team, people I meet at FarCon, etc.? No. And I met Apex. Does that make me a bad actor? I don't think so. I just prefer some level of privacy in an industry as crazy as this. Will that change in the future? Maybe. I'm not sure. One of these things you can't change once you port over. So there's a lot of folks too who do sort of side things in crypto, and they have like real day jobs. And that's a big reason that there are many folks who decide to stay anon. And I think that is perfectly understandable and reasonable. So we had a few things like that. And then this from Jake, which anyway, we may have met Jake. We may have not have met Jake. We're not sure. Good morning. I am feeling great with my personal X account unlocked. We shipped our biggest QRcoin.fun update yet. Yesterday, it seemed well received, and the QR token is up 70% in the last 24 hours. The challenge remains that bootstrapping a daily auction is really hard. Dude, you're talking to announce folk. Yeah, we know. But through 2 months, we survived. And for more of that time than not, we thrived. So let's see what's in store for month 3. I am optimistic that USDC bidding will expand the range of possible bidders, even though conventional wisdom says no one outside of crypto will touch this stuff. The fact is, if you have a link you like and want to drive some attention to it for a day, you can bid on our auction, even if you don't know anything about wallets or crypto. We made it that easy. Even if it's not used by normal people, it's important to me that we make it at least possible should they want to. Everyone else, I encourage you to open up QRcoin.fun mini app once daily. Never know what you might discover the next great app, coin, person, etc. early. And this is a fun frame. It's really, whoops, hold on. I gotta log in. It's really well done. It's very well done. I've been pretty impressed with it. And you bid the other day and ended up winning. So it will tell you like who the winner is, where it's pointing to, all of that kind of thing. I think you were a couple days ago. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. So like on that day, this was pointing to GM Farcaster. Oops, I forgot. I got to zoom out here. So really fun. I think it's a really interesting approach to both an auction, daily auction, as well as a frame or a mini app. So there's so many things going on here. Really well done. Go check it out. Even if you're not going to bid, go check out where things are pointing to. Give some love to the crew, to the team, and yeah. So what did you think of the experience of bidding? By the way, funniest thing was when you were like, "Why do you hate GM Farcaster to Tobu?" And I'm like, "Oh, first time auction bidder. Clearly hasn't been through it." Don't take it personal.
Jake's and my incentives were not aligned. His incentive is to get lots of people bidding, and
yes.
So I felt like I had a target on my back. I have bid before. I tried bidding before. Super cool, fun experience, easy to get QR token. I think I didn't even get it in the app. I think I just bought it from my Warplet. Like I just swapped, I searched it. I did not win before. And I guess he casted that there was not a lot of competition post FarCon. People had FarCon hangovers.
Yeah,
so
they're a little tired. Yeah.
Yes, I tried doing it. I lost one day, so then I had to come back, my competitive weird streak, and got it super easy, super fun. And yeah, they make it easy to rebid. If you get outbid, you get notifications. And what was really awesome is Jake does a whole write-up on on the link each day. So I was pointing people to our GM Farcaster, just our YouTube channel, trying to drive more eyeballs.
Yeah.
It worked.
So there you go. So I think it's a really,
I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a good, it's a new, interesting approach to advertising, essentially, in a way that is, you're able to bid and find some market, forces there in terms of what the value is. Yeah, I think it's a great thing to experiment with. By the way, just shout out to Nouns Builder, by the way. You can use Nouns Builder for something like this, should you want to. I think he built it from the ground up, but used the similar contracts to do it, if I understand correctly. We'll definitely have to get Jake on sometime to talk about this so we can explore this a little more. All right, let's shift gears. So we're going to show this video in just a second. But I want to share this first with you. This was from 10, also known as Patty, also known as Jewel Heist, for those who may know her by other names and other places. Absolutely thrilled to be working.
Speaking of pseudonyms.
Speaking of anons, who I've worked with for, I don't know, 2 years now or something, on Builder. So absolutely thrilled to be working on this DXRG AI project alongside many Farcaster builders, including poof-eth and Grumplin and others you all know, but working behind the scenes. Mint your army of AI traders on base on May 13th. DX Terminal, Autonomous Economy, clock in, crash out. And I want to show this video real quick, and then we're going to bring Poof up to the stage to talk all about this and explain what this is all about, because this looks so fun and I'm really excited. But let's listen in.
Terminal. Buy, sell, sabotage. Build an army of AI traders. Manipulate the market. Climb the leaderboard. Or get absolutely rugged by someone in a rental suit named Chad Synergy. Dogs, drugs, oil, movies, speed, and scams. These 6 megacorps are waiting for you. Control your AI agents before you flame out in finance hell. If you can. DX Terminal. Autonomous Economy. Clock in, crash out.
All right. let's chat with Poof, who is one of the founders of and creators of this crazy game. I also have to change my background because you all need to see my flamingo by Gremplin that I am unbelievably excited about. So I got to put this on the screen. That he created, and it is amazing. And I also got a cameo, which I need to understand what that is, and then we'll talk about that too. But Poof, welcome to GM Farcaster.
Thank you.
Amazing to meet you. Look at that background. Look at that stuff you have in the background. I'm like, want to explore like all the things.
Oh
back
yeah,
there.
I'm like a true collector brained person. So
love it.
Stuff. Yeah.
Love it.
Thank you for having me.
We're so excited to have you here. And we had this discussion about whether or not you were going to be coming on Anon, or if you were going to come and you decided to not. You decided to come on in.
Yeah, why not? It's funny. I was seeing, and we've been so busy, I was seeing a bit of and as y'all were talking, the Anon debate, and it's like, it seems fine for people to be Anon.
You're like, I've been doing it for a while.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a while. I know I'm on camera. We were, I was maybe gonna do like a ski mask or something crazy, but it's like, all right, that's maybe a little intense for having fun and talking about agents here. So
it was funny because she said the ski mask. I'm like, at least get like the Vinny Hager ski mask or something like.
I've got a
like
pretty
fun.
good. It's pretty, it's a pretty cool one. So anyways,
it was funny. So really excited to have you here. So let's talk about, and I mean, Gremplin's another one who's an Anon artist, like it, and so there are many Anons for many reasons who we still appreciate and can, we gotta find ways to move through this, but we're having a moment. So let's talk about DX Terminal. What is this game? How did this come about? And let's dive into it a little bit. And how is it going to work? Because I'm really excited about it.
No, absolutely. So I can talk a little bit. I'll give a high level on what it is. So essentially, it's 1987. Black Monday just happened. It's an alternative universe where there's crypto, there's AI.
By the way, it's 1987. Black Monday just happened. I'm a senior in high school. Okay, continue. I'm not kidding.
Incredible. Well, and what's funny is we literally came up with this storyline back in January, and then we're like, wait, is Black Monday actually going to happen again? Right around. It's it's really good marketing for us. That's the setting, and all of the characters and the inhabitants of this world are totally degenerate crypto. There's feds and suits and degens. So there's all these artists, builders, all kinds of different archetypes, and everyone is an animal. But also we've even got teapot, head, carrot. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff in there. So it is a kind of crazy hyper parody of, let's say, 2021 crypto in my mind in some ways. And the way it'll work, we collaborated with Gremplin on this incredible art and training AI models. We're an AI research group, and we can talk about some of that and what that means for us. But the idea is kind of twofold. You're going to mint and get one of these unique autonomously generated characters that are all crazy looking and fun and have their own personality too, and username and all that. And you can mint as many as you want, and then those are going to be your traders. So for a period of time, we're going to have it open for mint. People can go mint, and then afterwards we'll immediately start a game experience. So you have kind of this cute collectible thing. There's a little sprite that gets created of it too, like Final Fantasy Earthbound style. Which is super cute. And then the game will start, and the game will last about a week from start to finish. It'll be right after the mint ends. Anyone with an agent can jump in. If you somehow miss the mint, you get one on secondary, or you just want to watch. It's going to be super easy to kind of go keep track. But what's exciting is this will be highly likely, or definitely will be, the largest AI agent economic simulation, and really largest AI agent simulation of this kind. So at the same time, we've kind of got this fun game. There's actually this kind of real challenging and interesting kind of thing that we've, don't want to say solved, but we're going to go see how it all works out and everything else. And essentially your agents are going to go trade, buy, and sell completely autonomously. They're totally AI, LLM driven, and they'll be competing on your behalf. And if you're really into it, you'll have a lot of fun trying to go give them the right direction. And you kind of don't need to too. Like they just kind of do stuff for you. You don't need to like do anything special. There's no staking, whatever. And yeah, and then we just let the chaos kind of ensue from there. And we'll talk about it.
Now you're saying it's a simulation. So are they they're not trading real coins. They're
not trading real coins. We actually, it's funny because we wanted, especially where like, again, no one has done anything on this scale before. Definitely not comfortable having people go think there's real coins and other stuff. Right. So they are trading simulated coins to get more of the base currency in their universe, which is Webcoin. So that'll be how it works. And it works like a real simulated Uniswap pool. So it's, authentic. They can create coins, pull liquidity in, all that stuff too. So
that was funny. Somebody, Brett just said that makes me like it more, that it's not real coins, that it's like, that it's simulated. So no, totally. I do think that it keeps it more fun, and it keeps it, especially for you all, it's going to keep it more fun where you don't have, you know how it goes.
We'll have it. I'm sure there'll be all kinds of things that
there'll be plenty for people to be mad about. That's okay.
That's fine. They should be. Whatever. It's part of the game, right? Of crypto. So,
Poof, have you been running test games?
Yes. Yeah. So we do tons and tons of testing, because really what you find when you're working with AI, and we saw this in previous experiments, but like what we've been doing, you have to test, because that's really the only way to go actually understand what's going to happen. So we've been running, I've got one right now. There's like a couple thousand agents walking around, going and trading. We're probably going to do some huge load test this weekend. We think theoretically it won't be this number, but we think theoretically we could go up to like almost 1 million at the same time, which is crazy, but I think we could. But it'll be something smaller than that. So yeah, we've been doing tons of testing, and we're crazy. We put way too much time and energy into like actually caring about the authenticity. So part of our testing and stuff we've been looking at over the last like 4 months when working on it is we actually partnered with Dune to buy all of the Solana transactional pump fund degenerate coin data. So we have everything. And then kind of like use that actually partially to go validate, but also train and look at other things to make sure that like the behaviors are right. So anyways, this is
so interesting. This is going to be so fun. So does your agent's skill level, is it determined at all by the mint, or is it just like very random in terms of how well they'll do?
Yeah, no, it's a great point. I think, for us, we really didn't want people to focus on, there's going to be like, it's easy, I think, when you get into a game like, there's a rare one, or this one's going to really win.
That's what I'm asking.
We wanted to make it feel a little more like Mario Party or like Mario Kart, where like, and we can talk about this with the cameo and stuff, but like, there's going to be times where you get blue shelled or blown up in a weird, unexpected way, or something happens that's just unfair, and that's going to be part of it. But there are some differences. One of the big things that we did that is such a big deal when you're working with AI, because it can feel so like slop and everything else, is we kind of created this full process to actually create these unique personalities per character. So it's completely autonomously generated. We have all this other stuff that we do to make sure like it's not anything terrible or whatever, right? But their kind of self-image, the actual image we generate for them, like what they look like, and like a bunch of details about their personality, how they write, all that stuff is all individualized. And then that actually becomes something that they leverage in their trading style. So everyone's got a different style, and sometimes it might be helpful and sometimes it may not, right? Depending on the context. So yeah.
Is there a way to, like, say you see a different trading style that you like better? Is there any way to trade to get that one or anything like that?
You can absolutely on secondary go
Okay.
get different.
So it is
agents.
attached to like the mintable token. Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah. So we've got, it's almost like a little ID card that has, that's the visual you get. In addition to, there's this PFP, there's this little sprite character, and then we have all the metadata about, their style is this, here are their hobbies, here's their previous occupation before they became a trader. So yeah.
That's so funny. Can you talk about the cameos?
Yeah.
Real quick,
yeah.
and what's involved with those?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So as you kind of go through the game, it's going to start in 1987. It's going to end at Y2K. And we have kind of broad, let's say, story arcs of things happening. Gremplin kind of has this alter ego character too. You may have seen around, Chaz Gunkland. So he's going to be part of the story a little bit as well. And Gremlin's amazing. It's gone above and beyond in something that's just a collab, and he's like, he's so great. But basically, at various times, different characters that either are kind of parodies of contemporary people and or crypto natives will appear, and there's about 20 something of them, and do something special. So if you think about, the example we keep using might be, there's going to be a coin that gets exposed by the Fed or something, right? And there may be a Gensler-esque character that appears and says, hey, this coin needs to go, and then basically FUDs it. So all the agents are going to go dump it, and maybe he'll try to go take money from some of those agents and stuff. So we've kind of imbued some of them these powers, and some of them are kind of like random acts of God that you'll be able to see happen as you go. And then some of them will be all right, this is a good one that you chose, or maybe Patty chose.
So Patty chose for me. Yeah, Patty chose this is one of the cameos. I had to go.
Do you know who it is? Some of the cameos too. They're very. Grumplin did such a good job because
I know who it is, but Adrienne, do you know who it is, or somebody in the chat? You guys know who this is? Any ideas? Come on.
Is that an FTX t-shirt?
That's an FTX t-shirt. So that would be our friend SBF.
That's Sam.
That's Sam.
That is.
That's a Samish type of character. Yep. So I thought that was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
So what he'll do, just to spoil it a little bit, give the GM Farcaster team a little bit of an advantage. Whenever he pops up, which is kind of randomized, because some of it's AI driven, and what's fun about kind of these systems and what we've built, it's very flexible. So like, it might be a thing that pops up on Farcaster one day, like, oh, FTX exposed or whatever. We'll have some in-game thing, so maybe we don't get sued or something. Sorry. But some other way to talk about it. But, the agents will be seeing this coin that's doing really well that he's made, and he's funneling money from investors and other stuff, and they'll be buying it. And then all of a sudden, it's going to go to zero. And we don't know which one that's going to be. And that'll be kind of one of those catastrophic moments that'll pop up. So, and then some of them are positive. They're not all negative. So yeah.
Oh my God, this is going to be so fun. So it's going to, the 13th is when the mint happens. And then when does the game start?
It'll be probably like close to right after. It'll probably be, I think the way to think about it is we're not revealing everything yet, but about 2 days after it'll be, yep. So mid next week, we'll be getting started. It's gonna be so fun.
So fun. Any other alpha you can give us? I'm like, I want to.
I have a question about the game.
Okay, go ahead.
Wait, but you said the game lasts about a week, and I assume it's a like 24-hour nonstop simulation.
Yes. Yep.
And interesting.
By the way, Poof has played Crypto the Game a few times, right? Have you played all three?
All right. I didn't play the last one because I was working so crazy on this, but we played the first two. So yeah, I love Crypto the Game. I think it's Dylan's incredible. I think it's so smart because so in my past, and sorry, I'll go on a little bit of a tangent, but like, so I founded and created EtherWorks pretty soon, one of the on-chain games that was early on in like 2021. And what felt really apparent and really fun about things like that, or like people who had experienced anonymized mint and things like that, was just like something about on-chain experiences gives stakes to things in a way that you don't normally get on like online games or online experiences. And it makes the social aspect of things really fun. And sometimes that's the on-chain component too, because it's like a board game, right? You can see everything that's happening theoretically. But even for non-on-chain stuff like Crypto the Game, I think that is totally a no-brainer. And obviously everyone loves it. So it was a great success. So yeah.
And we have CastOut that's starting next Monday. So it'll be a little crossover, but it's a much smaller group. It'll be interesting to see. I can totally imagine somebody like JC playing CastOut and this game at the same time and just giving up sleeping for 2 weeks. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But it's gonna be fun. I'm really excited to play. So let's zoom out. We're at the end of the game. What are people winning? Like when this is all said and done, like what's the prize at the end of this?
The prize is the bragging rights and the friends and you made along the way. No, there'll be it's not going to be any big single prize. There's not going to be a cash prize or anything. There's no token. I'm gonna say it again. But we'll definitely there's teams similar to, or kind of teams, corporations, and there may be mergers and acquisitions, so similar to Crypto the Game. So there'll be kind of like a team win and a maybe individual contribution win that will give maybe your character collectible kind of thing as it sits in your wallet in the future, a little bit of like bragging rights. So
amazing. I love it. I'm just excited to snatch up all this new Gremplin art. I'm just like ecstatic. Was so excited to see my little prof flamingo. So this is going to be super, super fun. I can't wait. So again, I have to ask, I'm going to ask it again. Any other alpha, any other tips, any things we should know as we go into play? I'm gonna try. He's here. I'm gonna try.
You have to. I think the main thing will be, to me, and this is my personal perspective. I think it'll be super fun if people really try to mess with the prompts that they give their agents. So I think that will be, because you're basically going to go page them and tell them what's going on. So I think that might be interesting. I'm sure someone like, we have a group of people that on our team that are good testers for that kind of thing and constantly try to mess with each other and break things. But that'll be fun. And then I think the one true secret alpha that we'll reveal here is, like, in addition to these cameos, you won't just be able to talk to your own agents and tell them what to do, which you can obviously, and that is helpful, but you don't need to like be 24/7 locked in, who knows. But there will be ways that if you're more of a player that likes to mess with other people, that you can go mess with other people's agents too. So you can maybe go to the shop and buy a little bit of a crazy pill to go give to your enemy's agents or something. That'll drive them a little weird. Yeah.
Interesting. I have these visions of certain people on Farcaster who I know will, one, try to break things, two, definitely be messing with other people's agents.
Yeah.
Yes, Bora Dutch, I'm looking at you. So this is gonna be
It's so
fun.
funny. It's so funny. You get those like there's some like
Brett, come on, Brett. I'll be looking for you, Proc. Brett, leave me alone. Leave me alone. He's still
It's
upset
so
about
good.
the last season of CastOut when Yellow ended up out in like the second round or something.
Oh, no.
So he's still trying to get back at me. This is gonna be just so fun. Adrienne has created an AI agent on Farcaster for GM Farcaster. So Adrienne, thinking about this like from a gamified position, like what comes to mind like in terms of like the tech side of it? Like anything in terms of questions regarding that and like how
No,
they
I'm
put
so
this all
glad.
together?
No, but I'm so glad I'm not building a game. Holy cow, poof. It's I can't even imagine the number of different prompts and calls and how you coordinate. Because to your point of like AI being it's not a deterministic language or methodology, it's all probabilistic. So it's like you test it, it works, and then you test another time and it doesn't work. So with my AI bot, it's really like it's just it does one thing. So
Yeah. That's cool.
there's just not as many impacts. It's not a multiplayer like complex game. And no one's paying me to play, and it's like there's no expectation. So it's been painful for me. I can't even imagine the complexity that goes into it.
This would be like your worst nightmare. No,
Yeah.
no, there's a million agents, and you're like,
Yeah.
No, yeah, we like pain or something because yeah, we're like I guess we could do something simpler. It's like now we have to do like, and then this one like our first experiment, it was groundbreaking for what it was, and the capability and the infrastructure we built was helpful. But I think like this one, we were trying to. I think it was in February. I was reading research papers and like trying to implement some things, and we're like, oh, I actually think no one's done this. So like this will be the first thing of this scale, period. And then like if we wanted to publish it or something, will we be like, we did it with these crypto degenerates and like here's the behavior when they're, I don't know. We'll see what happens there. But we're like, oh God, we went too far.
Bring some research out of it. But I just also, my mind just goes to like, I'm just so curious of like, how many what models did you use? How many different prompts? How many different models? Like what? And you don't have to answer. It's
no, I'm happy to. I actually absolutely, yeah. And sorry if I'm going long too because I can talk about this stuff forever. But
no, you're good.
Yeah,
you're good.
Models, like we have a framework, and it's kind of like part of our philosophy, especially with what we're trying to accomplish, where we're trying to think about it as a system. So for models, we're thinking about it more modularly because what we want to be able to do, and this has happened every single time, is when a new model comes out that we want to use and it's like 2 weeks before launch, I want to go put it in. Now, we may find once we go through the testing, oh, okay, it just like doesn't understand our system correctly or like has some weird nuance, but we try to build it super flexibly. So for this one, especially to get like good variety and just some different behaviors and also to like spread the load across our provider stack, we actually run multiple models. So we basically use Qwen, DeepSeek, Llama, all open models entirely. We use a stack of that on the LLM side, and then we did this custom trained Flux model. We worked with RetroPulse from AstroPulse from Retro Diffusion, who makes does the best basically pixel art model, which is super impressive. So we kind of glue all these together. It's exactly what you say. Like we have all these routes and craziness. And what's good is like you have to invest a ton of time into it. Once you kind of get into the routine, you have the process and the infrastructure becomes easier. And then what we did, which is like, I'm sure we will regret this, but like this is alpha. Because we're not going to share the model that's tied to your agent's decision process in the metadata, just because like people will get like, they'll think like, oh, okay, like the bigger model's better or something, which like we found is not true for this. And even just getting agents to trade, there's a whole thing I could talk about that. Like, it's really actually, LMs are not very good at like taking actions in ways you would expect. But anyways, like, so we use a stack of models, but what we found interesting is like thinking models do a tiny bit better over time. So like one of the shop items might be drugs that help your agent, which basically just upgrade their model for a little bit. And then one of the, I'm sure we will regret this because we'll like break something in the system, but like one of the kind of like throw a tomato at someone and mess with them or throw a wrench in their thing is we want to downgrade the model of someone's agent for maybe it'd be like for an hour or something to like something that really sucks, like Llama 2 or like way back. So we'll see how that breaks everything. But so far we've got enough checks and systems that'll be fine. But yeah, so that's kind of the approach.
So Hamalama, so part of the game is to bork each other's bots. Yes, exactly. And then yes, crypto, be afraid, be AI afraid. Yes, exactly. Tomatoes. That's funny. Yeah, the tomatoes. Exactly. So this is really so many aspects to this. I do want to just kind of mention here that oops, that's not what I wanted. Oh, but it's worth it. I wanted this instead. Remove. Add this one to stage. So at the sort of core of this is DX Research Group. Can you talk a little bit about what it is DX Research Group is doing and then how this sort of plays into it? Because you mentioned potentially writing this up as a paper and all of that. So just talk a little bit about what that is and sort of what's the core of all of this play.
Yeah. DX Research Group is our call it a research group because like we kind of feel philosophically there's going to be this big shift, and probably everyone feels something similar towards AI. And really the observation is I was thinking about founding this. Previously, my background is way different. I've been in crypto, but more like a part-time person because I had a day job and career in consumer stuff in the very normal corporate world, not even tech. So I decided to go full-time. The more time I spent with AI, I started not in the early days, but in 2021 or so, and getting really into it and getting pretty deep. And it just seemed like there was such a good opportunity to leverage some of the unique aspects of crypto, things we were talking about today, but use that as kind of like an experimental staging ground, especially where everyone in crypto is so receptive to new technologies and fun experiences and stuff, to go think about like what the future might look like when you're actually putting AI to use. Because it feels like, or what my observation kind of was you try to go train base models and stuff like that and go compete in that realm, which you absolutely can. It feels really hard. And like, that's maybe not even where my interest is. Although recently we trained some foundational models, so who knows? But like, to me, the main thing is, hey, there's all these great tools. It's really exciting. A lot of them are super focused on productivity, which I use too, but there's not necessarily a lot of experimentation with, Adrienne, what you were saying is like, all right, when I actually go and try and use this and build this weird system or think about different ways I can go interact with it or something more than a Twitter bot or whatever, or a Farcaster bot, which are cool. But what else can we even think about? That became our focus. Like, we want to design that structure, that system where I can take models, I can take an agent design or kind of infrastructure, and I can take crypto, and we can kind of combine those into something that's more experiential. And with a focus on things that like don't scale or like can't scale almost, where today in our first experiment was DX1 Singularity, which was this interactive autonomous single agent that was using state-of-the-art video to create a full like hypnotic experience based on this kind of crazy system of input. So more of an art experience, which did really well. And we had, great support from base and actually with the Farcaster community as well. But the big thing there was, like, if you wanted that quality, and at the time, the cost to actually run that is like extremely high. We had to go figure out how to go secure tons of GPUs and all this other stuff to actually make it happen. And so it's really something like you couldn't have a business for regular consumers today that's like, oh, I'm going to create streaming AI video, but we know it's going to get cheaper, it's going to get faster.
Yep.
There's going to be ways to experiment with it in a year, 2 years from now. So it feels fun and worthwhile to like see what these experiences are like, see what people's feedback is, see what resonates, where you could enhance or change how people actually interact with the systems, and then also just like understand how to go run the play. So for a lot of this, our kind of thesis is we want to keep doing these different experiments, is what we call them. Again, things that don't scale, that have a real giant cost, everything else. But then through that, try to figure out, okay, with this one, I feel like in particular, we're seeing, okay, I could kind of see a path where in the future, there could be something pretty soon that like is more consumer oriented or more mainstream or whatever too, with the same infrastructure. Maybe not crypto, gambling, animals, but you can imagine this is kind of the fantasy of the AI Sims universe, right? So like, could you actually do something like that? Could you do, so there's a lot of kind of interesting things that spin off. And I think our test has been, do people enjoy it? Is it an experience that's worthwhile for them? We want it to be as accessible as possible, despite the cost and everything else. And then we'll just keep iterating, and we're going to try to stay agile and not kind of get stuck either on a single product or idea, but then also develop it where it makes sense. So that's kind of the approach.
This is so fun. I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm also looking forward to sort of the after reporting, if you will, of like, what did you learn from it, and what can we take from that? Because I think that's going to be also really interesting. And so this is going to be minting on the 13th. Is there a cap? Is there a limit? Like how many are you expecting?
So we'll see. So we can theoretically hold probably more than can mint. And then we'll see exactly. We're kind of waiting to go reveal the final details on mint price and all of that. So that those will come soon. So check the Farcaster and everything else. But
is there a way you could? Yeah. So are you, when you mint, is it automatically going to be activated within the game? Or is that something you need to do? Like, could you hold off and like hold your, okay.
Your character will automatically, unfortunately.
Rugged completely and liquidated. Can you then revive with some other character?
They do. They will get a salary, but you can get more characters. So the idea is to mint more than one. Like, I mean, if you want to just mint one, then you absolutely can. But we expect people will mint a lot. We want it to be kind of more of a high frequency, like get as many as we can in this simulation and stuff. So
fun. So fun. Adrienne, what other questions do you have before we wrap up?
How many winners?
There will be one company that wins. So it'll probably be, I would imagine it'll be a third of however many people play.
And you're placed inside of your agent is placed inside of a company, like assigned a company?
You are assigned the company.
You
and
are.
then any agents you buy, if you transfer an agent or whatever, they'll switch teams too. So like if you buy one on secondary, it goes to your team. So one of the things you do when you get into the game is take this little personality quiz. And that kind of sorting hats you into the teams or into the
that's fun.
But they'll also be, hey, am I really am I personally my wallet and whatever agents are associated with that? Number one, number two. So there'll be some individual achievements too.
We have a question from Brett. Will the simulated game only run once and then it's over, or will there be more games afterwards just for fun?
It'll be one. So I think 1 and it's over. However, no promises, but we definitely want there to be, I think we're going to be tempted to either figure out a way that people could just run on their own if they want, or have some other little things to mess around with. But I would say plan on just being kind of the 1 week.
Like a 1, okay. And then maybe you iterate and create something that's a little more ongoing or something, depending. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Awesome.
Is there, and is there anything else people should do to prepare, or things they should know? Like trading books.
This vision of this Rocky
books.
training video, like people
A
preparing.
montage of me quickly studying up.
I love the competitiveness I'm sensing for Adrienne. It's like, yeah.
Or is it total chill, show up, mint on the 13th and play? And
I think it depends on what kind of player you are. So because I honestly, my expectation is someone who gets really into it is just going to crush it. And then someone who didn't touch their agent the whole time
is also going to crush it.
Is also will crush it somehow by accident. So I think
I want to be that person. That's the one I want to be.
Exactly. That's why it's important. It's just bragging rights, right? Otherwise, people will be really bad. But
final.
We love to play some bragging rights.
Okay, final question. What % would you say is the game luck, strategy, psychology? Intelligence.
I actually don't know yet, because when we have, because right now, we're doing all the testing just like us. So I think when there's more different people doing different stuff, it might be way different. I would say it's probably 50% luck and it's 25-25. There's definitely a couple strategies I bet that might be a little bit better. But it's it's going to be hard to call because there's just so many different things that can happen. Yeah.
We do have a question from Sparks. You previously mentioned a fun surprise for folks who minted your last project? ?
Yes.
I think that meant, and what is that? I'm assuming there was more to that question.
Hey, Sparks. Yeah, I think I would say don't get, it won't be anything huge. It's not gonna be some free big thing or anything. So just setting expectations. But there'll be a few Easter eggs and little special things that are tied to the first project that will appear both throughout the game and maybe some of the characters you might end up getting might be a little bit different or something. So
Ooh, cool.
But it's not a huge, and also don't go feel like you have to go buy a bunch of the DX1. It's nothing major.
Okay. That's it. You're please don't. This sounded
Please,
like a gremlin. It sounded like a gremlin warning. Every time crypto starts pumping, he starts shooting out warnings that stop buying them. No, too expensive.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, we're that's where we're so aligned energetically. We're we're the exact same. So it's don't buy. I'm doing the wrong thing. But yeah, no, thank you all for being so engaged too and interested in competing. It's gonna be super fun.
I'm really excited. I'm really excited. I love games, and this is not news to anybody who's been around for a bit. And I like running them, but I also like playing them. I was obsessed with Crypto the game. I'm gonna love every minute of this. This is gonna be so fun. Any other last notes before we wrap?
Yeah, I think probably the last is one. Thank you so much, and thanks to the Farcaster community in general, who's been incredible. Ted, Tony, others, just really great. I think probably the best thing to do is just stay on Farcaster, X, all of our socials and stuff. We're going to keep releasing more information, more kind of details on the game dynamics, and then soon it'll be on 5.13, but we'll have the additional mint price and all that stuff coming soon. So keep your eyes open.
So follow DXRGAI on Farcaster. And I'm typing this in so I can make sure everybody sees that. That'll be where you'll be able to find the updates. So make sure you're following that account. And we'll be sharing, I'm sure, as well, on our end when we see things popping up, because I'm just too excited. So thanks so much, Poof, for coming by.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it. And thanks for not wearing the ski mask, because that was a little
Yeah,
scary.
no problem. Yeah, no, let's have fun. Yeah.
This has been
Awesome.
fun. This has been
All
great.
right.
So thanks so much. We're going to end it there. We will be back Friday. Adrienne, are we just on normal time? I can't even remember anymore. I think we're on our normal 8:30 time.
It's
Maybe
a normal
day.
news show, 8:30
Norm.
a.m. Eastern
All right.
Friday.
So
No
8:30
guests, I
a.m.
don't think.
8:30 a.m. Eastern Friday. We'll be on. We'll see you then. And with that, everybody, we bid you a bye-bye.